might have kind of stood a chance. I really like the T-shirt stuff, but here we are. We are going to be going live real quick in Grayhound on the T side.
Yeah, getting straight into it. They do have beautiful jerseys, don't they?
I love it.
They are wonderful. I'd like to see them, do an event-by-event basis of jerseys, but let's see if we are going to see a bit of that Shoxy speciality that you spoke about in a few mere seconds. It does appear they are trying to set up for a bit of a ramp ruse early on.
Yeah, and Shox, the USP, he doesn't have any armor. He's got the kit and a nade, and the nade could do a lot of damage. In the meantime, you can see Grayhound tossing in. I do believe there's a smoke or a decoy. I'm not too sure. They broke apart the vents, and Shox, he just rattles off one shot. The nade could do a lot of damage. Indeed, it does. Look at the amount of damage being inflicted. Lucky spots out a player, doesn't really commit to the fight, and Shoxy finds one, gets traded quickly, as it will be a 4v4. However, Amanek replies back.
This is nice. They've left themselves into a 3 versus 2. It's not a great position for Grayhound, but they can still try and make something out of this. It just depends on the firefights. At this point, though, it's traded just back down to Dexter. He's in a 1 versus 2, sprinting his way through the vents, causing a little bit of an uproar. 45 seconds still left on the clock. Glock in hand. Can he do some damage? Kenny in close proximity gets the tag off. It's not looking good, Blair.
It's not looking good at all. He has no idea where Lucky is. Lucky, well, he doesn't need to do anything if Kenny's going to hit shots like that. 3K for Kenny, yes. They have the protocols, right? They know what they know the roles each player is supposed to do. And even when things don't work out, I like how they're able to adapt. And worst case scenario, they have the firepower to make things work. But Sicko comes out on top as Kenny S loses the duel.
Now, this is a bit better as well. They're actually playing a little bit more aggressive towards outside because it was very slow, almost as if they were just giving them way too much respect, right? And that's why Shox was in such a good power play position to do damage. And once again, that name rings a bell. There he is, sat towards main, trying to see what he can do. Jax, utilizing the Kenny S angle, shattering glass and shattering skulls as he rips his way through Sicko.
And Shox, I love this play from him. The smoke, playing at the edge. They didn't expect that. And Dex is barely alive. And while Shox plays distraction, I'm not too sure why Shox had to re-peek out again. They're probably trying to catch someone off guard, but that's going to equalize things. However, that being said, Lucky will spot out Urcast, and it's down to Malta to get the frag on the Lucky, which he will. It's a 2v2 now. He's got a smoke for Mini, and they should get the bomb down here, but this is a very doable retake for G2.
Oh, the Molotov actually goes through as well. Malta going to decide to play around the smoke, pushes in.
That is ballsy. That is so ballsy.
This could be so risky depending on how he actually plays this. Both of them working their way back through Nest. The CT's trying to go in together here. Malta has that deep main control. They've got 4 flashes between the 2 terrorists that remain into this round. They clear it together. G2 going back in to try and mount this retake. They're making a bit of a hubbub. They're causing some ruckus. They don't have much utility, just one smoke, but Amanek's not going to use it. They jump on the bomb. Malta punishes the first, and Jack's caught between the crossfire. There's not much he can do. Great control, very basic smokes that just block off the angles and work as a squad. If you're going to throw something into the mix, do so now when you've got the 5 rifles in play rather than the AWP on Sicko. We saw that one aggressive peek from him, but talking of aggression, it's just a lobby crunch. They're just going for it. G2 are fueled by confidence off the back of that previous round, and that is a huge way to play it.
Oh, you love it. You'd love to see it, don't you? Like, they've been playing a little bit too reactive, and all of a sudden they're like, all right, they went for the attack timeout. They have a buy. They're probably setting up something. Let's make things a little rough for them. And they push in, they get the kill as well, and they establish the man advantage so very early on. And the fact they didn't see anyone in the lobby means Grayhound now have to take time getting back lobby control. Yeah. And yeah, I love this. I love this from G2. And look at Shox now. Again, now I think I do believe he's making his way towards Secret, where he's going to try and find another free frag here.
This is beautifully played. An awful lot of delay tactics as well from G2 to actually slow this round even further. And they have a ton of utility left. You've still got 2 smokes there, 1 flashbang for Lucky. You've got a little bit of offensive utility on Kenny and Lucky. And it just depends on the timing now. About 45 seconds left on the clock as we get down to crunch time. G2 need to do something soon.
And Shox is everywhere, isn't he? Pushes towards lobby, goes to a secret, now he's in vents. And Jax towards, and I like what Jax is doing. He doesn't need to really make any contact or go for any contact play. Spots out a player, goes for the spray, does so much damage. That's a smart thing. There's no need to fight. They can just keep delaying them. Kenny S, no need to aggress there so much. And Jax is holding the line. 23 seconds. Grayhound are going to get completely wiped out here.
Yeah, Jax, literally all he had to do there was try and slow them down even further. He did a fantastic job of falling back towards ramp. Instead, though, gets traded out. And Shoxy, he's been roaming around the map. He's been waiting for some action. But the only thing that's going to come his way is a bullet straight in the cranium, delivered by Dexter. Falling back into the 3 versus 3 now. This is going to be a rough retake.
I completely jinxed it. It was a 5v3. I was like, Grayhound again to get completely destroyed, and somehow Lucky's left alone in a 1v3. He makes it a 1v4, and he makes it a 1v3, but he's gonna get the hell out of there. I don't know how Grayhound won that. And this is the second time we've seen this happen.
Yeah.
Like barely 20 seconds remaining. The previous time they made the way from Secret, this time it was from Ramp. And GT didn't do anything wrong per se. Maybe Jax could have like stayed alive a little bit longer, stuck around towards that cubby area, towards the lower bomb site, you know, made sure Grayhound expended a little bit more time clearing out the angles. But Grayhound, when it comes down to crunch time, they're just unfortunate, right? So many rounds where it was just a 1v1s or 1v2s, and because of that, and right now they are broke for money. I love what Grayhound did the previous round. The aggression coming out from them, but this time instead of going towards Secret or Ramp, they went in aggressive towards the CT side, where G2 just lost his deals to Urkas. A man who apart from any of the Renegades players, I do believe he's probably the best Australian player right now. It's Shoxy with the Deagle.
Oh, it was set up for him as well. You could see him getting ready. The itchy trigger finger, but he's not going to be able to kill him. Goes down to Urkas to kick this one off. It was that one bit of potential with a close proximity. But we fall back into an advantage for Grayhound now with 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Lucky playing towards Hot with its CZ, but they need to go a little bit more aggressive somewhere here. Dexter already just on a fact-finding mission towards defense. The Molotov is going to push on out the 2 players towards Hut. But looks like by the way... Okay, never mind. Kenny S catches someone by surprise. Jax finds Dexter as well, and his CZ's doing a lot of damage. It's going to be a 2v3 for Grayhound.
Oh no, Lucky!
1 frags, and Dexter on the other hand for his team. Both the in-game leaders, I do believe, top fragging for the team.
Yeah, setting themselves up potentially at this point to actually build himself into a 30 if this one carries on, as it's proven to be a very close affair. Honestly, the way this game has been going, I wouldn't actually be that surprised if we saw this getting very close towards the full 30, as it's so back and forth. You know, that first T side was such a tell from Grayhound that it's going to be a close game. As long as they can maintain that level of play on their CT side, especially when they're set up to just slaughter everyone over by the vents. The bomb did drop down at least.
Yep, and that one buy from Amanek, the AK, able to find one, but Lucky with the Glock.
Not really see that many times from G2. There was only the one sort of lobby crunch, which was a full frontal assault, rather than, as you said, actually causing a bit of a tug of war between map control. Because of how many slow rounds we saw from Grayhound towards outside on their T side, in reality, G2 should have been completely swarming the rest of the map to try and make up for it. And that's what we're seeing now from Grayhound. They have a good understanding of how to actually play this here. And somehow they get this opening pick as well. Kenny S has gone down. Jax is trading it, but Jax, double or nothing. And he wants another bit as well. Through the smoke, tags Dexter down to 59. This hasn't gone too well for the Grayhound boys.
Yeah, they got the first opening pick. Dick Stacy, he's been spotted out. There's going to be a double peek coming. Amanek and Lucky going to be peeking together, and there we go. He gets taken down, but Urkas is very much alive here, and he's going to catch one player off guard. He knows there's another one there. Bomb spotted out. He's going to go for the duel. Doesn't quite land the shot, but Lucky is so lucky to be alive and 2 points of health. And look at Dexter. He's pushing towards Squeaky as well. Nate is going to be sailing a little too late. And Lucky's still very much alive. But Dexter, what can he possibly do? He has no idea where Jax is at the moment. But the good thing for G2 is they have a lot of time. Did Jax spot him drop down towards Vent is the question. And I think he has.
Lucky and Jax, they've got full control of the A site. Lucky can go for a complete safe plant. He doesn't have to worry about this one. Dexter, is he going to actually opt to try and work his way back into this round? They do have money to play with, so it's not the worst affair if he loses it. Bobs his head up, but it depends on the timing. He might have actually sold himself to Sauron there just as he gets towards. That could have been a whole different story.
Absolutely, and let's not count on Shoxy. How many clutches has he won so far again? At least 2. At the very least 2. And looking at the scoreline, if those clutches hadn't gone his way, this could have been a very different story altogether. As Lucky finds Urkas through the door, G2 just need one more round to close this one out. And for Grayhound, they need to win 2 back-to-back. And already a man down, things are not looking pretty.
No, this is a rough spot to be in now for them. Sicko just left towards Ramp with the AWP in hand. Ramp has been a bit of a sour spot for Grayhound, really. They haven't been able to lock it down for the most part. G2 have had their number when they pushed towards it. That prior round was a little bit of a blip. Ooh, Shox has broke his ankles.
Yeah, okay. I think he's trying to imitate a Queserado. Was it Queserado who jumped on down in that that clutch? I forget, but yeah.
Oh, I know the one I think it was, right?
I think it was Queserado. Anyway, Shox down to 55 HP for no reason, but just as unfortunate. Things happen, it's Counter-Strike, but 4 players this time around. In fact, all 5 players snaking their way towards Secret.
Slivering down.
Shoxy just hurrying up a little bit there because he saw the smoke dissipating. Unfortunately for Grayhound, just one player there. And it's not in the side. He's playing towards ramp, and one smoke is just going to neutralize his position. And it is Dick Stacy, who has been struggling a little bit so far this game, at least when it comes to winning those duels.
So at this point, they have the control towards the lower site. They've got down, they open the door to try and kick this one off. Dick Stacy peering from across the room, going to be mollied off, but luckily gets the response in, takes a ton of damage though, as he's trying to delay for as long as possible. The nade also rolls in, and this carpet bomb of nades, essentially, is just ripping its way through that CT sustainability. The headshot back from Dexter, trades it on towards Shocks. They're left in a bit of an unorthodox position as Kenny S is punishing them, and it's all down to Malta and Sicko.
Kenny S hitting those shots. Lucky joins the party. It's all on Sicko, and unfortunately he's not done anything here, and he will do nothing. Lucky will find him. Triple kill.